So our science for this week is a pretty easy one. We're just going out, we're observing the sky and noticing the changes in the weather. So our directions for science are up at the top. It says go outside at 3 different times of the day, morning, afternoon, evening. Draw a label or write about what you see in the sky using the chart below. So this is what you might want to include. Color the sky, was there wind or rain, clouds, can you see the sun, sun's place in the sky, sun's path across the sky. All right, so in the morning, I went out and I saw a sunrise. So I'm going to describe that color. So a pinkish red sunrise. These are just our notes like scientists do. So since they're notes, they don't need to be in complete sentences. There were lots of small wispy clouds. But see, since I have all these commas here, I'm going to make each one a separate line instead of just making it one long thing, just so it's easier for me to read. It was a little chilly because I went out at about 6 o'clock in the morning. Then what else did I notice? The sun was in the east. There was no moon. And if there's no moon, there's no stars. Then I'm also going to put this because I live right by the airport. There were no airplanes, just because no one's really traveling right now. There is a slight breeze. Okay. Then our same thing for the afternoon. What did I do and went out? This time there were no clouds. And then the sun was straight overhead. It was much warmer than the morning. What else did I notice? All right. There were still no planes. And there's still no moon, especially since it's the middle of the day. No moon and no stars. Did I notice anything else? There were birds fluttering about. All right, and then evening, what did I notice? So I went out at about 11 o'clock at night, so there's no sun this time. The sky was, oops, I put that in the wrong one. The sky was dark blue. With some light reflecting off of the clouds, which were pale white. I couldn't see any stars, but that could just be because there was so much light out. And this time there's no breeze, at least when I went outside. Okay, so I would keep adding to that for my observations. Remember, I could draw them if I wanted to as well. Now I'm going to answer these questions. What was the weather like? So the weather was pretty calm and uneventful for the day. There was a slight breeze that blew the clouds along, but that didn't result in rain or obviously snow. Okay. How does the weather affect the earth? So this we didn't really see, but it's asking us to think about. So how does the weather affect the earth? The weather affects the earth by creating rain that crops need. But then what does rain also do? Rain also causes erosion. And so erosion, remember, that's when rain slowly chips away, or wind slowly chips away, or rivers slowly chip away at rocks, at dirt, and then it forms new landforms, which can change how the surface of the earth looks. How else does weather affect it? Well, it also creates snow. It creates glaciers if the temperature gets if the temperature gets low enough. So there's many ways it can create it. What happens to things like rocks, mountains, and dirt when it rains or there are high winds? Well, what happens is the dirt, rocks, and even mountains can move slightly. Now, what that means, especially for the mountain, doesn't mean the mountain gets up and moves, but it means that rain is slowly chipping away at those items and causing them to move, to transport. Remember, that's called our erosion. Okay, so I could keep adding on to that. Then what kinds of animals are able to survive in the weather we see here in Nevada? So we have many kinds of animals. Some examples are rattlesnakes, quail. What else do we see if we walk around? Well, we have rabbits, coyotes, and especially people. So we have many different examples we also have Nevada being up in the mountains instead of just in the desert or the valley like we think of typically. So remember, these are just to get you guys thinking. It's not to say that this is the kind of quality of answers we want. It's just to get you started. All right, I hope you expand on them, and we'll see you guys later.